Okay, something that is not up for debate. Balenciaga, I feel like at this point we've all heard about them, seen them in the news, seen them on TikTok, seen them on Twitter. Do you think they're canceled?
I think they should be, but do I think they actually will be? No, because this is not the first time that they're in the media for fucking up. Yeah. And I think people will still continue buying from them.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just sad. Like every single time we see a celebrity, someone famous, a big fashion house like this, I don't know. Do people ever really get canceled? I'm not sure. I don't know. No. There might be a few that have truly ever been canceled, but people are so quick to forgive. And I don't know, people are passionate. They're like cutting their bags in half.
Lighting them on
fire. They're throwing them in the trash. I like the passion.
But you're keeping yours.
I might get rid of mine. I don't know. But like, I like the passion. I do.
I don't think anyone needs to get rid of them. I think the money has already been spent. You destroying your bag, yeah, it's a statement, but it's not going to give them back the money that you already gave them. I think a real statement should be stop purchasing.
So I would, I guess, get rid of my bag if it's something I genuinely wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because sometimes I'm like, did that person do that for the TikTok views or because they actually care? I can't tell. You know?
Or was it DHgate?
Are we then profiting off of the
DHgate? Was it a fake?
Right. Was it a fake? And then we're like, are we profiting off of the scandal? Which is like, is that kind of sketchy too? I don't know. Anyways, for those of you that do not know, Balenciaga is facing a ton of controversy right now. So what happened is over the past, I would say like 2 weeks or so, a lot has come out with their winter 2023 ad campaign. So there was a few things that were a little sketchy that kind of happened throughout the ad campaign. So the first was that there was a basically ad campaign with a bunch of children who were like in presumably, I think supposed to be their bedrooms with all like their toys out and everything like that. This famous photographer, I guess, was like used to taking photos of children and like their like toys in their rooms and stuff, and it's supposed to be some sort of like thing they do. Anyways, Balenciaga decided to do that with some of their new teddy bears that they're modeling as well, some purses, and it was supposed to be kind of fun and edgy, which didn't end up actually happening. Some of the teddy bears that were featured in the ad campaign were wearing like harnesses and very like sexual like bondage BDSM objects on the teddy bears that the children were holding. So immediately a lot of people were extremely, repulsed, disgusted. The children modeling, holding these bears, mostly like young little girls who were holding these bears like with all this like bondage on them, were extremely young, like probably like 5 years old or something like that. So people saw that, they were like, listen, that's crossing a complete line. That's not edgy. That's not fashion. That's not chic. That is just exploiting children and putting them in a really, really weird spot. So there was immediately a lot of backlash due to that. In addition to that, people noticed that in a separate ad that was part of the same campaign, there was basically a Balenciaga purse that had like on top of like a bunch of different papers and a bunch of different like random documents. However, I don't know who it is that initially looked into it further, but if you looked at one of the documents that the purse was on top of, it was on top of a 2008 Supreme Court document. It was a decision. It was the U.S. versus Williams, which basically was a ruling that upheld the
it basically criminalized like child pornography.
Yeah, but it also I think it gave like the right for certain type of like animated child pornography as long as it didn't involve real children. Something really messed up like that. You can go look it up if you want. It's U.S. versus Williams. I honestly don't know all the details on it. So basically that was in there too. So people started reaching a point where they're like, all right, all of this feels now very deliberate. Like Balenciaga came out with an apology where they said, hey, we're so sorry and we would like to, did you read that apology?
Yeah.
They basically were like, oh, we'd like to apologize for the fact that our people thought that our teddy bears were a little inappropriate. Sorry about that. Yeah, we don't think that there's anything that should be, including bondage or BDSM or anything with children in it. Yeah, like our bad. Oops, that was weird. And then the next paragraph, they were like, we also want to apologize for, it's just like kept going. Sorry, it's not funny. They were like, we also want to apologize for, having weird documents in our photos. We don't really know how that happened. Like, whoops, let that one slip. I'm like, it was like the most ridiculous apology I've ever read in my life. I'm like, okay, sick. And then they go on to say that they're going to be taking legal action for the parties that were involved and responsible for getting like, they said unapproved like materials on their set and on their display. So basically what they're trying to say is, oh, okay, like whatever agency or like, I guess company they were going through for this photo shoot, they were like, oh, they must have just like snuck in the Supreme Court document about, child pornography and just put that on our set. And yeah, like that's messed up. We're going to sue them for it, as if they're not 100% behind it. So they put this apology out. I think it's complete bullshit. And honestly, the apologies,
shout them out. The producers were North Six Production Company, and the set designer was Nicholas Desjardins. Hopefully both will never have a job again.
Yeah. So I looked into North Six. So basically, kind of what all of this means is that Balenciaga is suing the producers. So the people that actually put together the ad. So when Balenciaga puts out a campaign, right, like they're not the ones that are putting together like all of the ad and all those different components. It's for their brand. So they need to have people that are producing this ad. So North Six is the ad agency, the production company, or whatever you want to call it. And they were kind of behind the campaign for it. So Balenciaga is like, oh, we had no idea all this stuff was happening. Oh my God. Like, we're going to sue the, agency that put this whole set together and this whole campaign together, which is called North Six. If you look into North Six a little bit further, they work with basically all of the luxury brands. And I just think it's ridiculous. Like, I don't think any of them should be allowed to do anything ever again. But like, it just really disturbs me when you have a company like Balenciaga that has such a crazy influence, net worth, all these crazy celebrities that promote them, and they can't take any responsibility. And they're like, oh, we're just going to blame, this North Six production company. And obviously they know what that company's about. Like they're all in it together. So I thought it was just like a little, like, obviously cowardly, which I get it. Like, the minute that a big brand is in hot water, the first thing it's going to do is try to find someone to blame, a sacrificial lamb. So like, I understand it, but honestly, people have been really, really pissed off. They've also been pissed at like Bella Hadid and Kim Kardashian as well, since Kim is like the head or like the face of Balenciaga, and Bella basically too. They were silent, like absolutely dead silent for 4 or 5 days about this. They did not say a single word about it, and people were freaking out. Kim Kardashian even posted a photo like the night before Thanksgiving with her and like a bunch of inmates at this like reformatory prison, where she like hosted a Friendsgiving for them with Tristan Thompson in the photo. And she was just basically talking about like all these young men and their lives, and how they've all been working to become better people, and her and Tristan have been spending a lot of time with them and hosted this Friendsgiving for them, which is very nice. But in my mind, it was extremely transparent that she was trying to get people's like minds away from her being silent on Balenciaga. So people could be like, oh my God, Kim, you're such a good person. And she posted with Tristan. So people would be like, oh my God, why are you with Tristan? But people were commenting on her photo being like, that's nice, Kim, but like, what are you going to say about Balenciaga? Like, they were freaking out, and they were like, this is disgusting. You're a mom. Like, why wouldn't you say anything? And she finally broke her silence. And
Twitter.
Put out on Twitter and on Instagram, just putting out, what I think looks like a kind of...
I think the problem with her statement is that she said, I've been silent the past few days because I wanted to first talk with Balenciaga and basically understand like what went wrong, how this was allowed to happen, X, Y, Z. And while I understand that, Kim probably doesn't have 100% freedom of speech, I'm sure she has, her PR team that calculates every single statement that she makes. I'm sure they rewrote that Twitter statement. Honestly, hopefully a dozen times, but something makes me think maybe not, because, her Photoshopper does not care so much for Kim's photo. They need to put more time into her Photoshop. But she should have been more candid. And, you know, if you're truly upset about something, like if you have anger and all this whatever inside of you, like you're not going to wait days or a week to make a statement. You're going to react in the moment. And I feel like, what did you need to find out? The matter of the fact is that it happened. It's fucked up. There's nothing that you need to investigate before you make a statement.
Yes, I agree. Like, why would you need to talk to them before, like, I don't know. I think in these situations, it should be guilty before proven innocent, like, or guilty until proven innocent, which they're not innocent anyways. But a lot of people were upset that she wasn't instantly jumping to condemn Balenciaga. Same with Bella. I think Bella ended up unfollowing them on Instagram, which a lot of people said was like a huge statement or whatever. But someone made a really good point. I always like to read through the comments on Instagram. That's like my version of Twitter. And I was on her Instagram reading through the comments, and someone commented and they were like, everyone's demanding that Kim, you know, speaks about Balenciaga and like speaks up and says something and condemns them. But like, she's one of them. Like, you don't think she knows what they stand for? And like, I don't hate Kim Kardashian, but I also think we need to get to a point, and we say this all the time, we put these celebrities on pedestals, and like, we don't know them. Like, we don't know if they're good people. We don't know if they're messed up. We don't know what they do behind closed doors. They're in bed with all of these like sketchy brands that are obviously posting these really kind of despicable things. So we shouldn't be really giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. And I think it's a further opportunity for us to all take a step back and be like, why are we idolizing these brands? Why are we idolizing these people? They're literally not perfect. In fact, they're usually very, very far from it. After Balenciaga apologized, they took down their ad. They replaced it with a new ad, which showed like just like a bunch of images of like people like in like the office or whatever, with like wearing Balenciaga purses and with their like feet up on the desk. This one woman in particular, she has like red hair and her feet are up on the desk, and in the background there's like 2 books in the background, and one of them is called Michael Borman's Fire from the Sun. If anyone has a free minute, just go look that up and let me know what you think about that. Extremely disturbing. Basically, I literally can't even talk about it because it's so gross, but I just personally think that the brand doesn't stand for anything good. I think they're disgusting. I think they should be canceled. I don't think anyone should shop from them ever again. So,
boom. They're on thin ice. Honestly, they were slow to react with Kanye. I don't know if you guys knew, in 2021, they sold $1,200 sweatpants with boxers peeking out from the waistband, which, you know, critics said was appropriating Black culture. So I feel like they're on thin ice. I don't know how many more strikes they can take before they're actually canceled, but I'm interested to see how this pans out over the next few weeks, months, year.
Me too. I hope that people actually follow through.